It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias.
You are now listening to the Best of Bias podcast with Lydell, Dinero, and Hugo.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Lydell, Dinero, and it's time for another episode of the Best of Bias podcast. You already know. Here with me, aka you already know. He's here. You know, we talking Hawkeye, episode 6, the grand finale. We got to get this to you because you know it's the time to do so. We just dropped episode 5. I think we dropped it this weekend. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Happy holidays if you don't celebrate Christmas. But it's time to wrap up Hawkeye. It was fun during the holiday season. It was cool keeping track of Hawkeye and seeing what he had going on after the Avengers and post-blip and all that. And I kind of just getting to see or hear about what he did as Ronin as his family was blipped and he was going crazy for 5 years. So, AKA, how you feeling today, first and foremost?
Feeling good. Yeah,
feeling good. All right. And what's the
slept like a motherfucker, so
okay,
I got home. Good. Yeah, I got home after driving that long ass drive.
Yeah.
Almost and I couldn't even go to sleep. I had to go to work, so
oh shit.
I just stayed up in the room listening to Chris watch Spider-Man.
I feel that was good, man. I saw that shit on the Christmas Eve, I believe. Shit was pretty good. I don't know about all people saying it's better than the Avengers and all that, but it was pretty good. I ain't gonna front. But episode 6 of Hawkeye. How'd you feel about it?
I liked it. I liked the the amount of action. I like what they did with Wilson Fisk. But I mean, I'm pretty sure that bullet to the head, after everything he went through, that bullet that she shot him wouldn't have killed him. Mm-hmm. That was a little anticlimactic because I was hoping they would at least reveal a little bit more about that character, the girl, before. But I'm assuming they're gonna do that in her show.
Yeah,
which is interesting because that was her first time acting.
Really?
Yeah, it was just I guess she auditioned for it, but she fit the role so perfectly because the character is deaf, Native American, and missing a leg.
Right.
And she's deaf, Native American, and missing a leg. So it's like, okay, let's go ahead and use her.
Pretty much what to be.
Yeah, but the fact that she never really acted before, and she didn't have to do much, because it wasn't a ton of talking, but she still had mannerisms that looked like she was a little seasoned, and the fight scenes, if that was her, and not a stunt double, some of those times, but they look pretty good. I gotta go back and watch them to see if it's really her, if it's a stunt double, but she's definitely doing pretty good. So, but I like the fight scene with the way it went down. The reveal was dope. I like the way they doctored him up. So I'm talking about Wilson Fisk. I know I'm skipping a little ahead, but I'm just jumping to that because the show started with that. Pretty much started with him, and they beefed him up a little bit compared to how he was in the show on Netflix. On Netflix, he was more clean cut, had the nice black suits, and they kind of changed his image to give him more of a dark Wilson Fisk. But in this one, they took him right back to, typical Marvel Wilson Fisk and made him strong as fuck. Mm-hmm. He was like mutant strong.
He got hit by a car full speed and shit.
He got blew the fuck up.
Yeah.
He said that was a very dangerous arrowhead.
Oh yeah, hit him in the chest.
Yeah, and compared to what his other very dangerous arrowheads were, I'm assuming that explosion was a lot more than a normal human could take. I mean, blowing up cars and shit. So
yeah,
the fact that he just got back up after that, I'm pretty sure him getting shot by fucking whatever her name is didn't do much to him.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. It was a pretty good episode overall. I liked it. It was still gave me CW vibes. Definitely.
Yeah, especially towards the beginning. Basically, it started off with, I guess, Kate Bishop getting another video of her mom and Wilson Fisk talking about she did hella shit in the past, was working with him for hella long, and is kind of trying to back out the business now because it's getting too close to her family. And Wilson Fisk is not ready to let her go. I guess she's kind of like, kind of integral to his business and keeping the tracksuit mafia going or whatever. But it's interesting dynamic, man, because the whole Elena and Kate Bishop little fight when she's trying to get to Clint at the party, and she's in the elevator, and then she like just pushes all the buttons and shit.
Yeah, you can tell they're gonna have a unique relationship. But they're trying to do that on purpose, trying to build that up. Because yeah, I'm trying to think. That reminded me of something. I can't think of what the fuck it was. Where like two characters had the was it? Oh, it was a Civil War when Clint was fighting against Black Widow, and they're sitting there fighting, but then in the middle of the fight they're fucking talking and having conversations and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
they were just sparring pretty much.
He's like, not in the face, okay? Yeah, some shit like that. Yeah, that was epic. Yeah, and I thought it was kind of cool, but some of the action was kind of forced because it was kind of stupid for Clint to actually go to that party knowing he's kind of a target, just to be like walking around in the open in front of all the windows where a potential target could possibly get him or be, put other people in danger by just walking across the windows and shit like that. I don't know. Interesting. That was an interesting scene as well,
but I mean, he was trying to. They all went there pretty much, and they were trying to save her mom, which I mean, it is what it is. I guess I don't know. She's done completely. So I'm not gonna say she's super bad, but she did try and have him killed. By if we were thinking about it in like real world, would be like some very high level fucking assassins she paid to kill him. So I mean, then hitting that right there already, it makes you a fucking villain in my eyes.
Yeah. And where the hell did she go during this whole time too? During the whole party scene, like she just.
She did had disappear for a minute. But then I don't know. I didn't like I also didn't like the way they went about the Source Master.
Oh, Jack. Yeah, they didn't really explain anything. They just kind of like had him be the fall guy. He went to jail, got out of jail, and just ended up being a good guy in the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
Just come out of nowhere, and he's just really good with swords, but they didn't explain that more. It was just like this is my time. Okay, I'm gonna come out. I think he literally said that, like something about this is the time.
My time to shine, type shit.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how people were out there trying to shoot them with bullets and guns, and they have bow and arrows and swords, and nobody got shot really. Yeah, that was interesting as fuck. Yeah, especially when they're on the ice. That scene when they're on the ice.
Yeah,
and they start pulling out all the arrows.
And it was just motherfuckers coming from everywhere. And like no crossfire or nothing. It was just
none. They're running at him to try to hit him with bats and shit, I guess. But the arrows were cool. That was a time where they got to show all the cool arrows they had. The one that shrunk the truck instead of making it big. That was kind of cool.
That's what is gonna happen to them? They're pretty much gonna die because that thing got all right. Okay.
Oh yeah, the bird picked their ass up.
Yeah.
So, ow, they're dead. They had some crazy arrows, the ones that you shot on the ground and they shot out spikes and shit. Those are fucking dope. Yeah, man, just showing that he basically made his own arrowheads too, so he doesn't really need people to make them for him. He makes them himself. Puts them on the arrows and just, he has his own artillery. He don't need I guess he does need some of the tech, for some of the arrows, but he does make all the arrowheads himself, makes his arrows himself. So it makes Hawkeye look kind of like a cooler character. He doesn't really need to rely on a lot of people. He's just
that's a nice little montage they did with that, where they just let you know more about the character. Like these aren't like arrows he's been getting made by Shield. It's actually him making the arrows himself. It's just at Shield they have better tech for him to make it with. Because that's what my thought process was going through it. Was these are just issued weapons that were issued and created for him, kind of like some James Bond shit, But he gives a better dynamic to the character that he's actually the one behind it, and or just able to make them himself. So.
Right, or creating the type of arrow it is, which is pretty dope as well. And just knowing the trajectory it needs to be shot at for it to come out or it to be useful.
the weight, everything, because
Yeah.
shooting arrows is like a lot about balance and weight.
Hmm.
So you gotta, be able to build it, do whatever it's doing, but still have enough, equal weight with the whole arrow that it doesn't just go straight down when you shoot it.
Yeah, I feel that.
So
But yeah, all in all, the episode was pretty tight. Also, we saw the LARPers again.
yeah,
Um, they're actually playing. I guess I don't know, man. It's interesting to me because
I'm not even
uh,
doing Bro Man justice because they keep on having dude from 85 South show in there,
mhm.
and I can't remember his fucking name, and I haven't even looked it up.
His name
But
is Clayton. Clayton
Clayton.
English.
Okay, there you go. He's doing pretty
Yeah.
good though.
Yeah, I was watching 85 South Show actually the yearly wrap up video, and they were
Hmm.
talking. Some of the people that be on the show had parts in movies and shit. One of the dudes had a part in Coming to America too, and Eddie Murphy and shit was in the movie obviously. And Carlos was like,
DC Youngfly, I think.
he was in it too. DC Youngfly was in it too.
Yeah.
But anyways, like yeah, he was like, y'all didn't tell Eddie Murphy about me or didn't mention my name at all, and he just kind of talking shit about that. But now he was like, hey, Clayton, did you tell the Hawkeye people about me? He was like, nah, I just told him I did a podcast with my friends. He was like, oh, so we just your little friends now. It's just do a podcast with your little friends. He was hella funny. But yeah, he doesn't really, I don't know, because they be smoking and shit on there, so I don't know if they can really like, bring the Disney and the Hawkeye too much into it because
Exactly.
bring too much attention to him. But yeah.
Uh, Still a good opportunity for him.
No, absolutely, absolutely, and he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that they'll bring him back in for season 2 and shit like that. I'm
Yeah,
sure it's gonna be a season 2.
because there's a group in um one of the Hawkeye comics that those characters are based off of.
Mm.
Like the cop is like a girl who's like supposed to be really good with bombs and shit. And then like I told you, the dude I forgot what his name was. You said it last time, but I think it starts with like an O or something like that. But he's one of the characters too. They all have different abilities, like not like new abilities, but like skills.
Hmm.
And I don't know, I don't remember his character being one, but he's still part of that group because they're all there. So
Yeah.
in the comic, they were more of like a fucking circus act that could fight, and they were attacking him all at the same time. So,
Hmm.
but they weren't like no big villains. They were just a small, obstacle for him to get around in the comic. So they just kind of, I guess, paid, homage to that and brought them in. But instead of making them his enemies, they made them his allies, I guess.
Yeah, and it brought a
So
little comedy to it and a little bit of
it
comic
did, yeah.
relief at times.
Because I was sitting there like they when they showed them and they were talking, they were helping out. I'm like, okay, like why are they? First and foremost, why are they putting these random normal ass people in danger like this? Because
Yeah.
like Avenger level of danger, or which is, I mean, I would put that on Avenger level, but they got a motherfucker sniping people in a building. They got, it's like that's a high level of death. So
Yeah.
why would you, being Avenger or something on that level, let these people get involved? But I'm assuming it probably wasn't him. It was probably the girl because that
Yeah.
would be something that she would think of. And but when they were talking about them getting suiting up, I'm like, what the fuck are they gonna do? In my mind, I'm like, because they have some unique abilities or skills that we don't know about that they can help them. And
Right.
all they
Right.
do all they do is fake fight. That's all they
Yeah.
do. So
Yeah, I thought they're gonna bring out some real shit for this, this time in crisis. That's what I thought was gonna happen there. But how'd you feel about some of the plot resolution? Starting with how Echo dealt with, pretty much Kingpin ordering the killing of her dad.
uh, I thought it was decent. I thought it was more of a I don't know. I mean, like the fight scenes were set up where I'm trying to think, who was he fighting? He was fighting against the mom at first, which was kind of weird, beating her up, and then he fought against who did he fight against? Clint, right?
I think he fought against Kate, right?
Kate?
Was it
Was
against?
he
It was
fighting
Kate.
against? Yeah, it was Kate. That's right. I'm tripping, God.
Mhm.
And if I say it was Clint, I would rather see him and somebody that powerful against Clint to see how he went up against her. But I mean, she still did pretty good against him, mainly because he was just slow as fuck, but he was still powerful. And maybe they'll fix that out later on, bring him back and have him just be like a, part of like some villain group. I don't know. I don't think he's ever been in a group, but that'd be dope. But anyways, uh, that fight scene was dope, but the whole shooting him in the face, like, I'm assuming that didn't kill him. I mean, this man
Right.
just been fucking hit with a whole arsenal of shit, point blank range, and
I think there's
walked
a
away
version
with
of
it.
him that has an eye patch from getting his eye shot.
Is there? Oh, okay.
I think there's a
Uh,
storyline where that is it's a thing. So I think that is going to actually play into what happens next with Kingpin. I don't think he's dead. I think he's just going to have
oh,
his eye shot out.
that's dope. I don't know enough about Kingpin, but that's dope as fuck.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen there. And then also just, I don't know, man, the mom going to jail. I thought it would be more of an internal conflict for Kate more so, but it just seemed like she was just kind of like not remorseful about it at all. She was like, okay, my mom's going to jail, whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
I think she was just probably thinking about the fact that she fucking tried to have a dude killed.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, her family's like a little fucked up. I thought she'd be like a little more
Yeah,
phased by it. You know,
yeah, I feel a little more
Mm,
torn.
yeah. But now she's I don't know. I'm assuming that she's gonna get left with all her mom's money and she's just gonna be all right.
She gonna be like the female version of Batman in the group.
Yeah, the
Well,
speed of
that's
youth.
what Tony Stark was that, but she'll be a small version of it, but because they're in the young Justice League, right?
Yeah, the Young
So
Avengers,
young,
younger,
yeah, I'm sorry, goddamn young Justice League.
the
Wow.
young guys. Yes, and then we had Clint actually, what was it? Getting to burn the suit. What did you feel about that? The suit actually,
Yeah, didn't he leave it in the burning building at first?
yeah, and it didn't burn. And then he
Yeah,
decides
somehow. Well,
to,
somehow the other dude got it.
yeah, because well, after it burned down and they kind of like put out the fire, he snatched it up and had it in good condition still. It should have still been burnt either
Yeah,
way.
it was.
Yeah,
They left it in a burning building, so
yeah, it should have definitely been burnt. Yeah,
or at least smelled like horrible. Like I don't understand the uniqueness of it if it was just easy to burn like that. Because
yeah,
why would you wear that suit? You didn't really have very much armor. Uh, He's like a ninja, pretty much.
yeah. Come to think about it, like a lot of the resolution was kind of like it was all straightforward. We kind of knew the mom was a bad guy. It was
Hmm.
interesting that Jack had nothing to do with that at all.
Yeah,
Um,
and he's also gonna be a LARPer now. Maybe
yeah,
he's gonna train. Maybe he's gonna train them, and they're gonna be like, all a bunch of his little swords.
they'll be amazing LARPers. Just win a bunch of
Yeah,
LARPing competitions.
but then now I'm talking like in the future, like maybe like Kate, has him become like her new little like a group that helps him out.
Yeah, I feel
I
that.
don't know. I don't know if that's a thing. That would be dumb if it isn't a thing, though.
I know it's wasted those characters.
Yeah, but I do know that the Swords Master is a character, but he was like a. I gotta look him up again, but I think he's like a villain and a hero or some shit.
Yeah,
But
they just never like some of the podcasts I've listened to never really mentioned that and made that connection yet. So I'm waiting to see
mhm.
them make that connection, see if they, maybe they'll be in the next season and actually have a more significant role.
Mhm.
But what did you feel about Elena and actually talking to Clint about the whole Natasha situation? It was pretty anticlimactic in my opinion, because I already knew right when they met and he kind of brought up something sentimental. He wasn't gonna fight back, one. And
Yeah,
two, that he was gonna bring up something that made her realize after he was beating her, she was beating his ass for like 30 minutes, that he wouldn't kill her. I don't know. I feel like if she knew her sister to the point that she felt she did, she would have brought up Clint and how the relationship was, no matter
yeah,
what. You know what I mean? You should know. You should know. Clint introduced Natasha to his family. You know what I mean?
exactly.
So it's
Well,
deeper
she was
than
like
that.
she was like godmother to the kids or some shit like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I'm making that up, but I think I heard that
No,
before.
pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I think one of the kids almost was named after him or something like that. Some kind of crazy.
yeah, but
Yeah.
you would imagine that's why you would think like she would have when she heard the name should have been like bullshit, because
Yeah.
after that or the whole Black Widow movie went down. Like, what was the timeline of that again? That was before, uh,
It was before the blip for sure.
was it before Infinity Stones?
Yeah, cause she got
All
after
right,
she blipped
Infinity
back,
War.
she was dead.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
I mean,
maybe not though, because maybe not though, maybe not though, because she said I gotta find Natasha, so you never know what she did with it before
oh, okay,
that whole
so
situation happens. I don't know.
that's right. Well, she didn't blip away. Oh, the
Natasha
sister
did.
did. The
Yeah,
sister
the
did.
sister
The
did.
sister
Yeah.
did. Okay.
So I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know the time between her flipping back and her finding her sister, and then finding out she was dead, and then getting that hit order, and then going to find Clint. I don't know the time between that, but I know it was
So, but yeah,
definitely before.
yeah. So by that time, she should already have went through a bunch of shit with Clint. Yeah, and with the whole Avengers. So she would have definitely mentioned that to him.
Especially
I
by
don't
the time of
know.
Black
Well,
Widow,
I
because
don't know.
everybody thought she was a traitor.
At the end of Black Widow, didn't they go separate ways though?
Yeah, but everybody knew who Natasha was because she broke off and went to the Avengers. So everybody was like, everybody kind of hated her. Because remember when she was getting beat up that one scene, everybody was kind of beating her ass because she was a traitor to the
But they were
Red Room.
also they didn't really hate her. They were all programmed. Once they got
Well,
that shit,
yeah, but the people that were programming her were mad that she left the Red Room and was trying to take it down. So yeah, they were trying to beat her up because they had resented her for that. So she had been with the Avengers for a while, so I'm sure that she was with Clint and kind of, I don't know if she talked to her sister yet enough to tell her about Clint at that point, but I don't know.
Maybe they figured they have cell phones at that time here, so they would have like some kind of communication.
I know, right?
All right, fucking
Some
Zoom or something. I don't know.
And any story probably had to involve Clint because that's all she really trusts and who she hangs with. Yeah, pretty much. But ultimately, the whistle was the thing that let her know that he was possibly telling the truth. And then after this whole season of her chasing down, trying to find Clint, I guess the season was, for Elena to build her rapport with Kate Bishop for the Young Avengers later on. But ultimately, her goal was to kill Clint ever since at the end credit scene of Falcon and Winter Soldier. And she didn't even do that. After the whistle, she just kind of ran away.
Yeah,
so,
pretty much. She started asking them questions, little sentimental questions, and then started getting teary-eyed and shit, and then bounced out.
Yeah, I'm not holding hope, but I still think something's gonna happen, and Natasha's gonna show up again somehow.
Oh yeah, they're gonna do some fucking alternate universe shit like they did with Gamora.
Yeah,
she's the first version of that.
Yeah, once Kang the Conqueror comes in, they'll probably start fucking with the multiverses and shit.
Maybe have an evil Natasha.
Yeah,
she could change her heart.
Yeah, maybe, man. I want to see. I also want to see an American version of Black Widow. See what that would be. I feel like they keep trying to do it within Shield. Some of the assistants in Shield, but I don't know. You don't really see that badassness. You have, she's Russian. That's what's the American version that you guys created, just in case there was another Natasha for another country. We don't have that yet. You don't have that.
I gotta think about it. I don't really. I'm pretty sure we have characters like that from Marvel though. That
really?
Are Americans that are similar to her.
Captain Carter.
Technically, but nah. I think there's actual other characters. I think who they are. I think one of them was like Mockingbird. I think that might have been Clint's wife because they showed like at the end when he gave her the Rolex. It was her Rolex, but it was a Shield Rolex, which means she was a member.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's characters that are Shield agents that were like Natasha in a way, not like created and like fucking gave it a hysterectomy and shit at like a young ass age just to be a fighter, assassin. But they have characters that Shield had that were I just can't remember any of them right now, but I'm positive Shield has a lot of them that were like they use who were similar to Natasha, but then Natasha also was one. So
she was like one of the best spies in the world too. So she had that title. But yeah, very interesting stuff. That puts a bow on that show though. I mean, hopefully next season we get to see Kate Bishop in her full form. Pretty much the show seemed to be more about Kate Bishop than actually Hawkeye in general. It's more of Kate Bishop. Let's see what she's all about. Let's get her ready for Young Avengers. And let's start to like her. You know what I mean? Her personality is pretty funny. It was pretty funny, especially the whole scene in the elevator, like you mentioned before, when she slapped Elena. She was like, "Oh, what was that about?" I don't know. We pressed all the
Yeah,
buttons. Yeah.
she hit her. She's like, "Oh yeah," in the what was it, the rib kick. She's like, "Oh yeah, that was a good kick."
Oh yeah. In the body throw.
The body
Yeah.
throw, yeah.
He's like, stop making me like you. Stop making me like you. Yeah, no, it's hella funny. It was just weird though. After they jumped out the window, Kate Bishop still jumped out the window.
Yeah.
How is she still alive? Her legs should have exploded
I
underneath
was
her.
thinking the same thing because she was like, she never slowed down with momentum. She was going like a steady pace. Yeah, she would have definitely like ruptured something in her
Yeah,
legs.
they made it seem
But
like she stopped down when she was scraping her shoes against the wall.
yeah, nah,
Yeah,
she hit that shit hard as fuck. So I don't know. To any regular person would have definitely like had some, some what do they call them again? Compound fractures or some shit.
oh yeah, she would have been fucked.
You also notice how like the fighting, they like I don't know if they did it on purpose, but like Kate Bishop to me looks very stiff in her fighting. She looks like
Oh
she
yeah,
and I don't know if they're doing it on purpose just because she's, even though she's a girl who did train her whole life, she wants to mimic a Avenger. So that's why it explains why she's such a good fighter. But she still has like there's a lot of stiffness. And to me it translates more as like the actress just doesn't have the hang of like throwing elbows and punches and shit. So when she does them, she just looks stiff. But I'm wondering if it's like that's their way of having an elevation of her. So later on, she's way
yellow
more
fluid.
trained.
Yeah,
Yeah, because if you look at the contrast between her and what's her name, I keep getting her name
Elena.
with Elena. Elena looked way more seasoned the way she was fighting, so I could tell they put like a lot more into her training because they wanted her to be like the Black Widow replacement for right now, and she's supposed to be deep as fuck because she went to the same training.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm hoping later on they fix that up and have her a lot better fighting, a lot more fluid scenes. But yeah, overall the show was good though. It was good. It was
Okay.
good.
Okay. Let's get right to the rankings then. What would you rank it out of the shows that came out so far from Marvel?
Uh, I feel like it's so different. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to really put that in there. Shit. I would put it like I couldn't put it above Falcon and Winter Soldier. I would definitely like put it in the same place though.
Mhm.
And I don't know if I remember if I have the same fucking ratings as I did before, but I think Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier was like my least favorite one, but it was still
Mhm.
I liked it.
Mhm.
Uh, and yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that I would put it like I can put it above that because I don't like it more than any other shows, but I don't like it any less than any of them. You know,
I feel it. I
so
feel it.
except for Loki is my favorite one. Loki
Mhm.
is still the top, but yeah, uh, but it's still
Me
a good.
personally. Oh, go ahead.
I said, but it's still a good show. I still like it.
No, for sure. Me personally, I liked it. I like Hawkeye a lot, and I wanted him to get a shine. You know what I mean? So I wasn't really too down on it. I did kind of feel like I see what you're saying about the Hawkeye and Winter Soldier, or Hawkeye and Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier show. It kind of did seem like a long movie.
Mm-hmm.
It had a lot of close your legs. Clay, you see Clay over there, his legs open, just
Can't
chilling.
see him.
Uh, but yeah, it was a lot of plot holes that they didn't really fill. They just kind of rushed it all. The whole
Mm-hmm.
6 episode kind of like format is kind of weird, man. I think they need to push the 9. Like didn't Loki have like almost 9 episodes?
Yeah, but I guess it's just depending on the character, and maybe they didn't think that that character demanded a big enough budget for that many episodes. They're like,
Yeah,
oh, we can wrap it up in 6, just make it a extended movie, pretty much.
yeah. It's wild. Yeah,
They just use it to introduce a couple new characters, give us a little bit of a shock with bringing in Wilson Fisk, and that was pretty much it. They try to do it around the same exact time that Spider-Man came out. So when they had like the whole uh, what's his name again, Daredevil shit where he
Matt Murdock.
yeah his little reaction.
Yep,
So
at the very beginning too. Spoiler
yeah
alert for everybody who may not have seen Spider-Man yet.
yeah so they pretty much try to reveal him at the same time. I think it came out like the same. I think it was the same day that Spider-Man came out. Is when they did the first reveal. So not the same day, but like the week before it came out on Wednesday. So, but yeah. Other than that, it was dope. I liked it. You know.
Yeah, it was really good. I like how they're putting together these shows. Got a lot more shows to come. I'm excited for when Moon Knight, Miss Marvel has for us, She-Hulk, loads and loads more, man. But I would put this down kind of closer towards the bottom of my
Yeah,
favorites.
I'm definitely looking forward to Moon Knight because I don't really know much about the character, but from what I read about him recently, like he's a dope ass character. Like, and then the little clip they showed, I mean, he punching motherfuckers in the face, so that's always it's
Oh
always
yeah.
something good to look at. You know, somebody just like, especially Disney. I want to see how they go with that because he's from what I read, he seemed like a brutal motherfucker. So
Hmm.
I really want to see how he get down. But even like when I was reading it, it was I hope they like play it the same. They said even like without the powers that he had, he was already like a top level, like a fucking Black Widow level assassin. You know,
Yeah, he's kind of
not
like Batman
yeah,
in a
not
way.
assassin, but yeah, he's a dude who can throw hands. He's already a good ass fighter and
I
stuff.
think one of
But
his alternate personalities is like either a bare knuckle brawler or a boxer or something like that. So he does have like a lot of experience, and he doesn't really necessarily remember how. It's nuts. So I'm excited to see what that has in tow for it. I'm kind of happy we put a bow on this show so we can get to the next one.
hmm
Because starting the shows is always better than ending a show. And with that being said, we started another show. Let's move right along into show reviews. We saw Boba Fett, the Book of Fett,
hmm
chapter 1, the first episode. I knew we were waiting for this. You were waiting for this. I know that. Let's talk a little bit about it. Are you stoked? Are you happy to see what's going down so far? Any critiques on the first episode?
I liked it. It was interesting. I mean, it's funny how they always have a way to bring every character into something. And I don't know if I'm tripping, but that scene where they have like the family getting killed, I don't remember if that's without. Oh, I'm tripping. That wouldn't have been Luke's family. I'm tripping. I don't know. On my head, I thought it was Luke's family, but that would have been way after Luke's family. So, but they brought him to see him like some people killing a family, and then after that, they started digging for these little weird balls of water. This
Yeah, that scene was hella
performance
weird.
performance saying that was hella weird. And also the little fucking snitch ass thing that was attached to him.
Yeah.
That was fucking. Yeah, I don't get that. Like, why was he snitching? Like they have you tied up too. So,
Doesn't that
but
become like one of his co-pilots in his ship?
was
Wasn't he in Mandalorian? That orange guy that he's tied up to?
that thing got killed.
Oh, it got smashed out by that monster. It died.
Yeah, it got
Oh, I
smashed.
didn't think it died. I thought they were
Remember
super drunk.
when they came back? It was just him and the kid had the little head.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That is true.
but the show was good overall. They had Boba Fett looking crusty as fuck. Like,
Oh yeah,
so I'm wondering, like, is that all that burnt shit on his body? Is that from being in the Sarlacc
Starlight
pit?
Pit. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if that's what that's from because they never really showed what he looked like before. I'm trying to go back
right.
and
I was
think.
like, did he age inside the Starlight Pit or what
No,
happened?
he would have aged anyways. He would have aged because he had been around since episode one. Remember, he was a
Oh
kid,
yeah, 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 yeah,
so
yeah.
he'd have been around that age anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But the what was it? So he didn't just age; he was burnt the fuck up. You remember that they
Yeah,
had a
his
scene,
skin.
like yeah, it was all like looked like they put a bunch of fucking Elmer's glue on his chest. I don't know,
Yeah,
but he was I don't. I'm trying to think if they showed him anytime before that where he was fucked up, like, or if there's any Rebels cartoons or Clone Wars where he was in. Because if you watch those, all the little fucking side things that are all canon, he does appear periodically through some of them, like throughout time, and he's like a little obnoxious fucking teenager at one point. But I don't remember any time where he got like fucked up and burnt up like that. So I'm assuming it had to be from being in that Starlight Pit. Like maybe there's acids inside of there that fucked him up. But because it was really burning up the stormtrooper. Remember, it was melting the fuck out of that thing. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's where all the scars and shit came from. But it's still pretty dope. What I'm hoping happens eventually, since they have that. I mean, they have him in there anyways. Is I don't know if you ever watched Clone Wars. Did you?
Well, yeah, some of it.
Okay, so you remember Anakin's like main Lieutenant Rex? His
Mm,
like all
kind.
the he had all the clones that worked for him,
Yeah,
but he had
yeah.
one that was just a bald headed. It was just a bald headed fucking
Mm-hmm.
clone.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like the thumbnail of what a clone should look like. But
Yeah.
Rex should still be alive, but he would be way older than the boy, or at the boy than Boba. I mean, goddamn. So they can potentially bring him back in the story, have him play by the same character, just dress his ass up and make him look way even older than he looks on here. Because the clones would their aging would be hella accelerated. So by this time he would be super old. And they said he'd still be alive. Matter of fact, there was a one of the movies, I forgot which one it was. I want to say I forgot which one it was. It was a group of rebels were fighting and they had like one character that looked kind of like Rex,
Mm-hmm.
but this is way before Rex was ever even thought of. This is back in like the first movies, like back in the '80s and shit. And they retconned it and made it where they're like, oh yeah, that character right there would be that would he was Rex.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, so like when they start like having Rex show up later on in like the cartoons and shit, the animations, that would have been closer to the timeline of when Luke his story came into play. They had Rex showing up. He was dressed like that character more. He like the shit he was wearing was like that. So
Mm.
I was like, oh, okay, so maybe they are gonna do that. Maybe they'll have him show up again, but just like an old ass version of him. But we'll
Okay.
see.
Okay. Okay.
But the problem was I think it was on a different planet. I don't think it was on Tatooine. So
How'd you feel about the scene when he was walking through town? Everybody's saying he was changing up the routine by walking through town and not being carried. He said he walks on his 2 feet. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I'm
I
confused
thought
about.
I was thinking that was more because fucking Jabba the Hutt. Oh, what's up, my nigga? What are you doing? I'm on a podcast.
It's a cool key on the side right here.
Okay, go ahead.
What up? What up? What up?
This is Chris. But what was I talking about again?
How he was walking on his own, walking through the town instead of being carried
Yeah,
like Jabba the Hutt.
well, I was thinking Jabba the Hutt and them couldn't even fucking do it because like, I
Hella
never even
big.
yeah, like you never really see him walk on any of the movies. I'm trying to think. Well, you do, but like that's not really walking. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. So I figured it was just easier for them to carry his
Slime
big ass.
sliding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel
But
that.
yeah,
Why
overall
is
the film
everybody paying tribute though? That's what I want to know. It's kind of wild.
paying tribute. Like, what do you mean?
So people at the beginning, he was sitting in the throne pretty much after the flashback, and people were coming and giving him an offering or some shit, and pretty much everybody was paying him just because I guess he was in charge, paying
Yeah,
respect, paying tribute.
yeah,
I
because
don't know.
I mean, if he's taking over for the new Java, that whole role, then they gotta pay him. So
Hmm.
I don't know, but apparently, like he owns all those businesses he owns, so he's supposed to be like a mafia, crime lord. Apparently, whoever kills the other one just can take that place, or I mean, I don't think they even have to kill him; they just gotta be there. I don't
It's
know.
wild though because like you want you to like keep the same traditions for the person you killed. It's like nigga, fuck him. This is my traditions now. Why are you guys expecting me to follow his traditions?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? The people gonna look at me funny if I walk through the town. What the fuck? Nah, I'm walking through
Yeah.
this bitch. Yeah.
And did you see the fight scene with like the fucking dudes that look like I don't know, Scorpion and Sub Zero from the first Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, with the energy shields and shit.
Yeah, I was thinking that they look like they took the same costumes from that fucking movie
Okay.
and had them out there. It looked just like them. It was funny, but where the fuck did they come from? They got to explain that a little more.
Oh no,
So
yeah, and they made I don't know. They need to make those fighting scenes a little better because Boba looked kind of weak. Hopefully
yeah,
he gets his bearings back, gets a little training underneath him, gets a little refresher because he got whooped real fast.
yeah, he wasn't like Mando at all. Yeah, so
yeah, exactly. That's what I was expecting. Him just to go out there and whoop everybody's ass, no questions asked. Him and just do everything. But what do you think about those flashbacks? Who do you think the person is? You know how he got found by those people and he was fighting that girl and she was whooping his ass. You think it's gonna end up being his assistant? How he got with her or the android that he's with now? I forgot her name.
We talking about when the girl kicking his ass a flashback.
So you know those people that kidnapped him was tied him to the thing, was beating his ass all the time.
The Sand people, yeah.
Yeah, and then they had that one when he got away, he escaped, and then he had that one
Like
that came out with the
those
staff.
that's what they look like. Those aren't like that's their
They don't
face.
have masks. Oh shit! I thought they
Yeah,
had
you said
masks on.
they be drinking through that shit. That's their face. So I
Oh
mean, at
shit!
least that's what I'm assuming because they never showed them that they're Sand people. That's how they
Mm-hmm.
look.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, that was just a elite ass sand person who had hands apparently.
Shit! Hell yeah! It was
But
whooping
I
him.
mean, if you look at it, uh, later on, like when they first revealed Boba Fett in Mandalorian, when he came out, he was fighting. That's what he looked like. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
he was fighting similar to that character with the weapon, just like that character. So
All right, Spy. You gonna learn a little something.
yeah, he's gonna learn something throughout it. I'm
Okay,
assuming.
okay. It was pretty short. It's
Yeah.
only like a 38-minute runtime, probably with like 5-minute credit. So I don't know much, they really revealed in this episode. To me, it's just gonna be more so of us seeing how Boba Fett got back to where he is now and what his next kind of moves are. Seems like he's gonna be like a crime lord. He's what's the word? What's the word when people get money out the businesses, just keep them protected? Extraditing? I don't know. What's the fucking word?
Racketeering.
Some shit like that. Whatever they doing, it seems like they seem like doing more bad than good. We're gonna see who this mayor is, the one that didn't want to pay the retribution and thought that Boba should be paying them to be around. You know what I mean? So I think this mayor is gonna be the main bad guy that we see, and that's
Yeah. I feel like maybe the mayor is doing like a bunch of shady shit. That's why, and somehow Boba's gonna come in and do some shit that's gonna make it where he earns respect. He said he wants to run it with respect and not fear.
right.
So he's gonna do something like that, and then boom, they gonna that's gonna be the new Tatooine way it is. Instead of having it where it's like a crime thing, it's gonna be more like he's gonna become like the new mayor or some shit. Watch.
I feel that. Yeah, but I feel that. So you enjoying the show? You enjoying it? Or did they do it justice for our first
I
episode
like
so
it.
far?
I like the fight scenes. I like the fact that they have that character, the assassin is with him. Because I don't know if you remember, she was also in what the fuck's that? The Bad Batch. Did you watch that?
Yeah.
So she was the same character from that. The
Mm-hmm.
one that was coming to try to steal the little girl from them.
Yeah.
So they like showing how like she's still around after all that time. Because technically that would have been hella years ago. That'd have been like over 20 years ago. So she was supposed to be like 20 years in the Bad Batch, 20 years old maybe, I'm assuming. And however old she would be now is like 40 or something like that. But now
Is
she's
she
a
an
fucking
Android anyways?
now she is because Mando was it Mando who blasted her? Who blasted her? I forgot who it was. Oh no, that one guy who betrayed Mandalorian, wasn't it? I think that's who blasted her. And you thought she was dead. And then you see Boba Fett walk up behind her. Well, we all assumed it was Boba Fett, and of course it was him. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know. I mean, I like where it's going. I like the fact that so far she seems loyal, and he already got like a couple little loyal, whatever the fuck those things are. I forgot what they fucking called. I don't remember all the species names from Star Wars, but
Shit, I don't.
the big green motherfuckers that got
Oh
fat
yeah, the
bellies.
orcs. I call them
Yeah,
orcs. That's what they are in all these other goddamn shows, all these fucking Warcraft or whatever. But yeah, they came in. Where the hell did they go? I knew when they disappeared for 1 second, he's gonna get jumped.
yeah.
Like,
It
what the
took
fuck was y'all
forever.
doing?
Yeah, it took forever to come in. I was like, yeah, they already got beat up a little bit and got like poked with them fucking them electro rods before they even showed up. It was like, y'all niggas don't get a coke or something? Like that they were
Yeah.
supposed to be bodyguards.
I thought it was over till they came in with those big ass kicks, and they actually,
Yeah.
stabbing people. They tore off that monster's arm when they were digging. That was a weird ass monster. First and foremost, I thought it was over for him.
Oh yeah,
Why
it
was that
was.
shit hiding under the sand? Like, what the fuck? That's
Hell, and they were there for hella long, fucking digging.
yeah.
It wasn't they were doing it for a little while, so he had been just chilling underneath the sand for like hours or something.
And those were the hazards of digging, and he knew that. One big ass gorilla centipede go come out and beat your ass to death. That was
Maybe that's why he was there, because those little water pots are there, and he can, survive off that shit out there in the desert. But
wild.
yeah, he looked like a fucking Pokemon. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. And just crushed dude into the ground. I thought it was over for everybody. Boba Fett took a couple punches from him, so I thought, maybe Orange Dude was still alive. Maybe dude had soft punches.
That little frail ass thing.
I know, yeah. It looked like one of the things you squeeze for stress in the fucking.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. His fingers were tripping me out when he was digging.
Yeah, because they were just like rubber. Like rubber
long
fingers.
ass. But he was finding hella those things. I'd have been hella mad.
Yeah.
Little suction cup ass fingers. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen it yet, go check it out on Disney Plus. I think it actually dropped today, to be honest. So
yeah, was it today? I watched it today. So I watched it yesterday.
I think it was the 29th. Because when it's 28th, 29th, one of those days is when it came out. You might watch it at midnight or something.
Maybe it was today. I'm tripping.
Yeah, so go check that out if you haven't seen it already. Shit, we reviewed it for you, so you already know what happened. Also go check out Spider-Man, man. I heard it made like it made $1 billion already. It made $1 billion by Christmas.
God damn.
Yeah.
My coworker was telling me that it's saving Sony because it's falling off.
And not only that,
equipment.
Spoiler alert, Andrew Garfield is in it. They're bringing the other Spider-Mans from other movies. And they're saying that his role, he did such a good job in it, a way that they can reprise and keep Sony Spider-Man. Just give Andrew Garfield some actually good movies, because his second movie and his first movie, people didn't really like his second movie that much,
I didn't like the last one, the one with Electro and shit, but I liked the ones before that.
Right, yeah. His first, he only had two movies, so he had one, and then the sequel was the Electro one.
Okay,
so people are saying he did such a good job in this one, and they kind of did a whole bunch of running jokes in this one about how his movie was kind of bad, and how emotional he was, and some shit that happened in his movie that we didn't really get to see the aftermath of because they stopped making those Amazing Spider-Man movies. People are saying give Andrew Garfield, let him create the Spider-Man, Sony Spider-Verse, and let Tom Holland just go ahead and do the Marvel Spider-Man and have that be a whole different Spider-Man, and just have two different Spider-Man versus Spider-Verses.
And just have them sometimes cross, because now we're having like the multiverse and shit. Sometimes they can somehow cross, because they're doing another fucking cartoon about the multiverse with the Black Spider-Man. So
they can do it. They did all that with this Spider-Man. They freaking brought in villains from each Spider-Man's 1, 2, and 3 from Tobey Maguire. All that shit. Yeah, so they're gonna do whatever they can to milk out the Spider-Mans, because they even said one line Jamie Foxx has. He was like, "Oh man, you're white? I thought you were gonna be like a black Spider-Man. I thought there was a black Spider-Man out there." And then it's obviously Miles Morales. So, that was actually a plot hole too in the movie, because all these villains came through because Spider-Man wished that nobody remembered who he was, and they messed up the spell, and everybody that actually knew who Peter Parker was as Spider-Man came through and was trying to kill him villain-wise. But it turned out that Electro never knew who Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was, because he said he thought he was black. So he never should have been there in the first place, which was a big-ass plot hole that they just threw in our face and like, whatever, just take it. But it was good. Everybody should watch The Mayor of Kingstown too, man. I feel like I'm the only one really talking about it right now. I know some of these TV show aficionados are talking about it, but Paramount Plus, Mayor of Kingstown, Jeremy Renner was also in Hawkeye. So if you want to watch some more Jeremy Renner performances, watch Mayor of Kingstown. It's getting real crazy right now. It's the craziest shit of all time. It's nuts. I couldn't recommend it enough right now. It's one of the hottest shows out that nobody's heard about. Or maybe everybody's heard about, and I didn't know about it. So either way, check it out. But it's back to the end of the show where I let them know where they can find you at. AKA, where can they find you at? Is it Akil Young? At Akil Young on Instagram?
Exactly.
And that new PC mixtape is out, right?
Yep, you can find that on Spotify. You can find that on what else is it on again? Apple Music.
Apple Music.
On YouTube Music too. They got their little YouTube app.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can listen to it on there too.
Okay. Check it out. How many songs we got?
We got 6 songs.
6 songs on that thing. All slappers. PC.
Yep.
You know, we got Pretty Ugly. You got AKA over there, both on that thing.
We got Pat on the song too.
I'm on a song as well. Young Lydell, Dinero. Name some of the songs. Let them know what songs, tracks you got.
We got Rodney Danger. We got what else? We got Psycho. Rodney Danger is the one you're on. You know? And then we got
Out of My Element.
Out of My Element. That's funny. No, Out of My Element, which is I think it's one of the ones we go the hardest on, like lyrically. Me and him just, I guess, to me, some of the best verses came out of that one.
Okay.
Also, Said and Done, which is what the actual EP is named after. Not that one right there. Got a different style to it, but it's a nice one.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. So all y'all go check that out. Go download it now. Everywhere you download your music at. I'm sure you can find it there. PC, you know what I'm saying? So also, where you find your boy at SSC_Lydell on Instagram, Patrick_Lydell on the Snapchat. That's where you can find me personally. But if you want to find the podcast, or you need to be finding the podcast, it's Best of Bias on the YouTube, Best of Bias on the Instagram, Best of Bias everywhere you find your favorite podcast, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, same places you find, the mixtape. Once you download PC, go ahead and go listen to, Best of Bias podcast, download that shit, screenshot it, send it to a friend, tell them to download it. We can get a big ass circle going on there and we can all be family, the Best of Bias family. But yeah, the website, bestofbias.com, where you can find all of the episodes if you do not have any of these podcast platforms. And yeah, you can find the merch up there too. Bucket hats, beanies, dad hats, new patches coming soon. About to drop a whole new line of hats. You like these ones here. We gonna have the hard eyes for Valentine's Day. We gonna have the winky face. It's gonna be a whole bunch of different bias bears that we getting out for you guys for the springtime, for every season you need. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the season of giving, so keep on giving. But yeah, anything else you want to tell the people before we get up out of here?
Nah, go check that shit out. Go listen to music.
Go check that shit, all that shit. And yeah, we're gonna try to get this out to you by Friday, so you guys can have this for your ears and get your review and bring the show to a close with us. New pop culture episode coming to Friday after that. Stay around. We got plenty more hits here at the Best of Bias podcast. Plenty more flavor for your ears. And it's time for that theme song. So where it's at. Here you go. Bam. All right then, bro. Have a good night. Later.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. The best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias.
You are now listening to the Best of Bias podcast with